Terrence Bradley, y'all. Shout out to your car. Shout out to everybody holding me down. Shout out to Love C. Terrence Bradley. I don't know how he got finessed, but we're going to get to it. Let's rock out.
Attorneys trying to get Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and her prosecutor Nathan Wade thrown off the Georgia election interference indictment were fed up with a witness called earlier in the week.
Hundreds of text messages between Terrence Bradley and a lawyer for one of Donald Trump's co-defendants. Really, they were going back and forth, and we are learning that for months these were happening before allegations of an improper relationship between Willis and Wade were even made.
So Bradley is Wade's former law partner, and he represented Wade during Wade's divorce. CNN obtained more than 400 text messages, which show Bradley, for months, pushed to keep himself out of this situation and stay anonymous. Just a few days before a motion for a conflict of interest was filed, Bradley told a lawyer that there was a relationship before Willis hired Wade. Bradley went back and forth with the defense attorney via text, but when he took the stand, he seemed rather uncomfortable and he backtracked on what he had told the defense attorney.
I do not recall any dates of when the relationship started. I'm telling you, I did not recall any specific date. At this time, I don't recall. At this time, I am telling you that I do not have the date.
Okay, so again, this is Nathan Bradley, or rather Terrence Bradley, and he also sent the defense attorney a list of several people he says have firsthand knowledge of when the relationship between Nathan Wade and Fani Willis actually began.
I couldn't believe it. You know, I'm sitting there on a live stream last night and I'm talking to my dog Quentin. Shout out to Quentin. And we having a conversation. And it's interesting that this man got caught up with the ops and he over there pillow talking in text messages with a defense attorney, not even realizing that he talking to an op, thinking that he trying to get some box. Now, let me tell you something, black man. The one thing that you don't do, and two things is for certain, is you never, ever, in any situation, under no circumstance, sit there and talk about another man's situation, especially in a text message, with somebody else, especially a woman. Where we do that at? What did she promise this dude? What was she telling him? You never, under any, especially your homie. See, this is why I don't trust y'all. This is why I don't be trusting these dudes out here in these streets. Man, you up there telling everybody's business and talking about everybody's situation. You pillow talking with an op about a man that you allegedly represented in the divorce proceedings according to what you testified. And then he got on the stand and got grilled by her co-workers and was like, oh, no, I don't know. Dog, you don't remember what you sent in the text messages? Oh, we gonna get Quentin. I'm gonna get there, Quentin. Shout out to Quentin for alerting me to this. Good God. Let me bring you back to what he was saying on the stand, right? I want y'all to understand exactly what was being asked of him, because they already knew the answers to the questions that they was asking him. See, you operate with a whole level of confidence when you already know the answers. Did you buy the bottle of beer at 11:59? See, you know you messed up, right? Because I already knew what time you bought the bottle of beer.
Mr. Bradley, when you communicated with Miss Merchant, did you tell her any lies about Mr. Wade and Miss Willis's relationship?
Did I lie to Miss?
Now, you know a dude is about to lie the minute that they ask you, did I lie? Wait. Don't repeat the question to yourself. Did you lie? Did you buy a bottle of beer at 11:59? When a dude started looking like he can't see and the screen is right up next to him and they start doing like this. They might take a drink, a quick sip of some cold water, knowing that their life is about to change forever from right now. Now listen, Mr. Brown right here. I know his name is Terrence Bradley, but he looked just like Mr. Brown to me. Y'all don't know who Mr. Brown is? Y'all don't know who Mr. Brown is? Terrence looked just like Mr. Brown. All right, let me show you who Mr. Brown is. This is Mr. Brown. Hello? This is Mr. Brown. Every time I see Terrence, all I see is Mr. Brown. I ain't gonna lie. Every time I look at Terrence, all I see is Mr. Brown. Okay, so let's look at the difference. That ain't nothing but Mr. Brown. Y'all know who? How many cookies is this? That ain't nobody but Mr. Brown. On the stand, now imagine Mr. Brown trying to finesse you out of your panties. And he willing to give you everything. Now you know that this man is willing to give you everything. Everything. All of the text messages, all of the tea, all of the relationship status, everything. Look at this man. That ain't nobody but Mr. Brown. Same haircut, same beard, same gray, same body style, same everything. That is Mr. Brown. Terrence, what was you doing on the stand? You know that you wasn't supposed to be pillow talking in the text messages to this woman. Let me ask you again. Are you a liar?
That's a simple question, Mr. Bradley. You're a lawyer. Did you lie to Miss Merchant when you told her facts about Mr. Wade and Miss Willis's relationship?
Stop
Not
pausing.
that I recall. I don't recall. I mentioned earlier that I speculated on some things. I've testified to what I did know, so I can't recall whether or not I.
Answer the question,
Mr. Bradley, speculation is kind of a weaselly lawyer word. Let's speak truth here. You're under oath.
Argumentative at this point, Your Honor. It's not asking relevant questions.
He is
Mr. Bradley,
answering a relevant question.
Mr. Bradley, when you were communicating different details of the relationship between Miss Willis and Mr. Wade to Mrs. Merchant, did you lie to her about any of those details?
Objection asked and answered twice.
I don't think he's answered it yet.
I don't recall ever whether any of it was a lie or not.
Well,
This time, so.
at the time you were communicating with Miss Merchant, you were still friends with Mr. Wade, correct?
Yes.
And at the time you were communicating with Miss Merchant, you knew that she was talking to you in her role and capacity as an attorney in this case, correct?
Correct.
And you knew that she was going to use that information to somehow benefit and file a motion benefit her client, correct?
I did not know that.
Okay,
So
see.
I did not. Oh, I'm sorry.
So as an attorney yourself, you are testifying here under oath that you had no idea what Miss Merchant was going to do with all the details that you were giving her about Wade and Willis's relationship.
So at the time, no, I did not. I knew that Miss Merchant was gathering information. That is correct.
Okay. And did you lie to her when you told her that the relationship began before 2021?
I don't think we need to drill into specifics. He's covered it at a high level. I don't think we're going to get much out of this.
No, let him ask the question.
Mr. Bradley, isn't it true
wrong
the
with
only
this
thing that
judge?
has really changed? Well, you were speaking to Miss Merchant, whether by text or by telephone. You never said to her that I don't remember or that I'm speculating, correct?
I don't recall.
Well, you've looked through a whole lot of text messages. Do you remember ever seeing any communication from you that said, I don't remember?
Yeah, through the messages that I don't have all the messages in front of me, but no, I don't recall if I ever said I don't remember.
Do you recall seeing any text messages where you replied to her or gave her details where you said, I am speculating about this detail?
No, I never used the word speculating, no.
And the only thing that's changed between then and now
Is that they showing the text
is
messages?
that phone call from Nathan Wade's friend, Gabe Banks, correct?
No, well, Gabe was my friend, and I actually stated that.
Answer the question,
first day
Mr.
that I
Brown.
was here was that I've known Gabe for a few years, and that we are fraternity brothers.
Not anymore. Listen, with brothers like these who need enemies. Let's go over to Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly did, I think, in my opinion, probably a good job summarizing in a condensed format the details of what was really happening in these text messages. And then hopefully I can get the whole set of text messages by tomorrow, and then we can have us a little Friday bonfire on behalf of Mr. Brown.
I have here in front of me the texts. I've got 31 pages of the text messages sent between Ashley Merchant and Terrence Bradley. We've got them. We've got them right here. We're going to go through them together. Just got them. Obtained by our guest, Phil Holloway. I told you he was breaking big news in this case, and here he breaks it again right here on the Megyn Kelly Show. You heard a couple of them earlier discussed in this show, but we are going to go over them all in order as they happened. Not every single one, because there's 31 pages. We'll be here all day, but the relevant one. Again, these are some of the texts that Terrence Bradley is now claiming he was merely speculating about. You decide. We'll walk you through them. We'll let you decide. My team's been going crazy on this this morning in the past few minutes trying to get something in order here. The portion of text exchanges we received, we believe this is everything. We believe this is all texts between Merchant and Bradley. That's what we understand at this time. They show Merchant and Bradley texting as far back as September. Here's September 18th, where Merchant texts. Look at this. We're putting them on the board for you. You guys got to go to youtube.com/Megyn Kelly to sign up. You can watch all this live when it drops later today. Merchant texts, any idea who I could get an affidavit from on the affair? Bradley responds, no. No one would freely burn that bridge. We had heard her make reference to this back on February 15th at the hearing. We've never seen it. Merchant responds, okay. If Chris was asked under oath, would he know? Don't know who Chris is. Merchant is likely, though, talking about Wade's law partner, Chris Campbell. Bradley responds, no. Okay, so the question was, if Chris is asked, would he know? Bradley says, no. Merchant says, wow, I figured he would. I didn't expect them to be so careful. Bradley responds, he knows, but he won't admit it. I'm sorry, but...
Wow. Wow. Listen, not only did Mr. Brown lie on under oath, not only did he give too much information in text messages to a white woman, I told y'all, when this thing first started taking off and I seen that Nathan Wade's ex-wife had a white woman lawyer, I said, ooh, that's a bulldog right there. If I ever need a lawyer, I'm getting me a white woman. There is nothing more vicious from a legal perspective than a white woman. They will get everything out of y'all. You know why? Because I know that y'all got an affinity for that milk of magnesia. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. So not only did they get the messages, not only did he snitch on himself and he was pillow talking on his client and his homeboy, who he used to have a law firm with, he also snitched on his other homeboy and said, hey, he know too, but he not gonna admit it. Ooh.
But this is not how someone who knows nothing about an affair sounds. It's like the guy, he's caught. Sorry. Like Nathan's caught, Fanny's caught, Terrence is caught giving it up. Ashley Merchant has been an honest broker from the beginning and was wrongfully smeared by Willis. Let's keep going. All right. January 5th, 2024. That's before Ashley Merchant filed her motion requesting that Wade and Willis and the entire DA's office be disqualified from further prosecuting this case. She texts, I assume you knew about the trips. Wow, oh wow. Insane. I'm shocked. And then she goes on, well, not really, but somewhat. And he writes, no, I didn't. When did it happen? She says, last trip was this summer, May or June. He says, no, I didn't know I was gone by then. Doesn't surprise me. This is the part we were just talking about. Doesn't surprise me. They took many trips to Florida, Texas. Again, that's new. We didn't know about that. And then she responds, and Napa. And he writes, California. And she writes, yep. And then he says when she moved her daughter there. She responds, I can't believe they were so carefree. I'm trying to anticipate her response when I blow this up. And he says something about her daughter flunking out of a school, FAMU, and moving to California in defense.
So wait. Not only is he giving more details, but he also said that her daughter is in room 9. So her daughter, wait. Her daughter, Fannie Willis's daughter, is also in room 9. Now, I know a lot. Shout out to Carrie. Now, I know a lot of y'all may not necessarily be familiar with room 9. But we going to start to unveil slowly exactly what room 9 means. We talk about room 9 on After Hours a little bit. And we also talk about it on the Anton Daniels channel. So you telling me not only are they taking all of these flings to every state in the United States of America, but the daughter is also on room 9? Oh, Jesus. You telling all of the business. Who needs enemies with a friend like this?
To the daughter, no idea whether that's true. Let's see that she goes on to say, dang, they had a full-on relationship. Insane, just insane. And he responds, he went to help her move her, meaning the daughter.
Ooh.
She responds, why she would hire him is insane. He writes, yes. He's admitting, I agree, it's insane she hired him. Why would it be insane to hire him if they weren't having an affair? He's saying...
Okay, so we got to explain to people exactly what room 9 is for them to understand. Okay, so we're going to use our context clues. The daughter flunked out of college, okay, according to Mr. Terrence Bradley. There you go, Mel Duke. So room 9 in elementary school was usually the room that's in between room 6 and room 14. Room 14 is the music room. Room 6 is for the accelerated students. Those are the students who could possibly get double promoted depending on whether or not their family or their mother and their father want them to skip a grade or not. Room 9 is the room that is next to the bathrooms. It's the closest to the bathrooms. When you walk past that room, none of those kids traverse during the hallways during the same time as all of the rest of the kids. Sometimes you walk through there and they got helmets on. They always get on the bus quicker. They get off quicker. They get off slower. They go on the bus before everybody else, all of the latchkey kids. They hit their heads against the wall. They don't go to different classes throughout the day. They all stay in that same room, but they go to the bathroom a lot. And so they got to be right in room 9, that's right next to the men's and the women's bathrooms or the kids' bathrooms, so that they can... I'm telling you the truth. It's not that you call it room 9. They were in room 9 because the room was the closest to the bathroom. It was in the middle of the hallway. Okay? So when I say, okay, well, her daughter was also in room 9, that means that she was probably flunking out of school, according to what Terrence Bradley said, all right? So here's the other part of the joke that people don't really get, and it's not really a joke, it's the truth. What I said on not this past Wednesday, but the Wednesday before that, is that in elementary school, we was able to differentiate between the kids that needed a little bit extra help and the kids that was already up to par of where it is that they wanted to be in their reading levels and stuff, right? Now, here's the other side of it, right? Now that we grown and we adults, we can't tell the difference between the kids that was in room 9 and the people that was in room 14, the music room. Why? Because everybody got blended together, and we had the No Child Left Behind Act. And so then when the ladies, especially in our communities in a lot of instances, they start picking a man that they wanted to be their baby daddy, they wind up getting with the Neanderthal. They got with the guy that was Hulk smash. You know what I'm saying? And he was running and he was shooting basketballs and he could run people over on the football field. And that's who they got to get pregnant. But they didn't know that same guy that was room 9, because a lot of times, and this is actually a scientific thing that I read before. Roll with me here before we get back to this. What happens is, because you're missing some cognitive functions in this area of your life, you may have an acceleration in other areas. So let's just say, for example, oh man, he can't read that good, but he can run really fast. Room 9, okay? So a lot of times that's why they get with these athletes and stuff like that. And a lot of our women, they wind up getting pregnant by these guys. And then they didn't realize that, oh man, my child is a little bit off, or they don't read as fast, or how come everybody got ADHD? Because it was a segment of the population that was populating all the rest of the population. And that's what they made y'all all these single mothers. Now, when you come by as a good guy and you've been taking care of business and you went to college, you want to become an anesthesiologist or a software engineer or a lawyer or something like that, right? They come to you and they say, oh man, I want you to be my step baby daddy. I want you to come take care of my kid or whatever. Well, I'm not taking care of that kid. You go back to your room 9 man. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Like, a bunch of women. Chris, you crazy. A bunch of women went and had children by guys that may or may not have been in room 9, but they had different cognitive functions that allowed for them to be maybe a little bit more athletic. At the same time, they may not have been as intelligent. So when that guy wound up going broke, 2 or 3 years after he left the league, you still stuck with his child, and you trying to figure out how you can get him to make it into the league, because he can't read as good. His stand-up reading skills is a little different. So that's the idea. That's the premise behind what we talk about when we say room 9, okay? Basically, we're saying that it was a room of people that we all seen inside of elementary school a lot of times that then became a part of the general population, but we can't tell who was who because we can't refer back to their transcripts. We don't know what room they was in because we all adults now. Now, Terrence Bradley is telling the prosecutor that, hey, Fanny's daughter was maybe in room 9. Y'all get it now? Godfather said just because you flunked don't mean you slow. It don't mean that you're not slow either. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Don't mean that you're not slow. All right, let's continue.
Right here, they were having an affair when she hired him, which we knew. It was obvious. That's what the evidence has shown. And this is where the text we went over earlier comes in, which we'd only seen a portion of earlier, where she responds, like, just date him. Don't hire him. And she says, do you think it started before she hired him? He responds, absolutely.
Jesus.
And then added, it started when she left the DA's office and was a judge in South Fulton, which we pointed out to you before was in 2019.
Jesus.
And then she liked that. And then he said they met at the municipal court CLE conference. She responded, that's what I figured when he was married. Then right after that comes the next text we went over. Is this accurate? It's literally 13 minutes later, she texts, is this accurate? Upon information and belief, Willis and Wade met while both were serving as magistrate judges and began a romantic relationship at that time. He responds, no, municipal court. She says, thank you. He says, listen to this. He says, but you can't put where they met. Not many people know that. I might be one of the only, not even Chris Campbell. Okay, I'm sorry. Again,
That boy just told everything. He gave timelines, dates, job descriptions, when, where, why, how. Nathan Wade got up there on the stand. I can't wait to put a compilation of this together when this whole testimony thing is done. Nathan Wade got up on the stand and said, hey, man, she was only hitting me up occasionally. I met her in 2019. I met her at a conference. She would hit me up occasionally because you know how black people are. We trying to understand it wasn't many of us up there, so she would just tap in for some insight. No, nigga, she was coming in for that D. She was coming in to get that D. Yeah. So y'all just met, but y'all was just trying to figure it out. See, this is why women don't even need to be working. Oh, Anton, you so. No, I'm not. Because all of y'all got work husbands. Keep on coming home talking about, oh no, we just professional. You ain't professional. You getting that D. I think that we should all be able to triangulate the text message location from where they sent to better understand exactly where y'all work husbands and y'all are on y'all lunch break. Keep on kissing in the hallway like you in high school. This man was having a whole marriage talking about, oh, we was just together for the kids. No, you was doing a whole thing and then lied on the stand and tried to act like, oh, no. We was just chilling. No, your homeboy gonna tell on you. See, it be the ones that's closest to you that's gonna blow your cover. It's the ones that's closest to you that's gonna blow your cover. That's why I don't deal with that. Nah, who? You about to go get a what? A job? Sit your butt home. See, we keep talking about 50-50. The reason why men used to pay for everything was because they knew that you was going to be out there frolicking. They sat you home because they thought that you was going to be out there in the factories, y'all out there in Amazon warehouses getting frolicked. Keep on throwing it back for a real one. We know what you're doing. At work, keep on doing overtime, but your check ain't ever reflecting it. My check's short. I'm going to have to go and call HR and have them give me they ain't mess up on your check. Your time card is right. You out there frolicking. This is why, part of the reason why men ain't going, why they wasn't going 50-50 back in the day, because they wanted you home. But they didn't know that the milkman and the postman was coming to visit at the same time every day. You ain't never seen the milkman and the postman, but he keep coming back every single day on time, making sure that he gets your mail there right after you head out for work. I know what y'all doing. I know exactly what y'all got going on.
He doesn't want it to be obvious that he's the source. He's worried. He knows it doesn't look good for him to be sharing this information about Nathan Wade, with whom he has clearly had a falling out because he left the law firm. And we saw in the cross-examination that was done of him on Feb 15 or 16, they accused him of sexually assaulting either one person twice or two people. He denied it. Okay, we're going to get to that. But he's clearly helping counsel for the defense in this massive case against Trump and Michael Roman and the others, and he doesn't want to be outed. You can't put that in there where they met. Not many people know it. I might be one of the only ones, not even Chris Campbell. Okay, let's keep going. She says, I'm not. She also got stuff from the divorce lawyer. I got a ton of stuff. He says, like what else? Then he says, when will it drop? He's anticipating it, guys. He's anticipating
What
it.
did Nathan do? Did Nathan take his girl back in high school or something like that? Why are he doing his homeboy so dirty? That's the thing that I'm trying to figure out. Of all the things that I can ask, because then think about it. Nathan Wade wound up asking the same dude that's snitching him out to some random white chick to represent him in his divorce. With friends like this, who need enemies?
When will it drop? He is screwed. He is so screwed. It's so obvious. The judge has access to all of this. He knows what we know. She says, Monday's my filing deadline. You won't be involved at all. Well, that turned out not to be true. He finally turned.
He thought that he was going to dodge it. Boy, don't you know that these white women lawyers don't have no loyalty to you? Man, they trying to win a case. You, Mr. Brown, are going on the stand. He was up there looking like a smoked sausage. Looking just like a overbloated smoked sausage up there looking like a fool. I can't recall. It's all speculative. When in the text messages you were saying, absolutely. Nathan must have took his girl back in the day. I know what happened.
over his financial documents, which show he paid for Fanny's Delta flight. It has her name on it to California Napa vacation, and he paid for a Royal Caribbean cruise for them. This is Ashley Merchant finally realizing about all the trips. Blah, 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 blah. Then she asks him, this is January 5th, do you even talk to him anymore? And then she said, let's see, Fanny is the one in most trouble. She didn't get county approval to hire him. She's required by statute to do so. And he seems to be responding to, do you even talk to him anymore? No, I don't. That's also kind of interesting.
Beef.
Okay, then she says, I can send you a draft. I'm almost done with my motion. I can send you a draft. Can't wait to hear about your trip. And he says, okay, happy hunting, LOL.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, but there's like 180 between this person in these texts and the man we saw on the stand. Happy hunting. Don't identify me. Like offering ideas, volunteering information.
This is crazy.
It continues. Let's see.
When I first started covering this thing, when the Fannie Willis thing first broke out, I was covering it on behalf of the fact that Trump was being unfairly prosecuted. But I said it. I said it on the very first episode months ago. I said, listen, y'all, this woman is dirty. She dirty, and we all can see it, but she going to get up there with her flip neck, and she going to have a bad attitude, and they going to always blame it on the system. They going to blame it on women. They going to blame it on black folks. They going to blame it on racism. I said it. I called it. I looked into the camera, and I said, listen, this woman is dirty. I know it. God told me. And it's going to come to the light. Every single thing that her bad attitude is doing is going to come to the light. We didn't know that it was going to be Nathan Wade's opt that used to be his former partner that also represented him in his divorce. I said that this woman was dirty. Dirty.
To your knowledge, has Nathan ever prosecuted a felony? I can't find a single one. Never in his life has he ever prosecuted a felony. She writes, that's what I found too. It's bad. He asks her, send a rough draft. He's asking her to send him the motion. Merchant responds, let's see. Okay, promise not to share it. I don't want it leaked before I file it. I protected you completely, by the way. He says, I promise he won't share it. They're working together. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way.
Yes,
he's not doing anything wrong.
Yes, it is.
It's what this confirms is what we knew. He had information that was non-privileged from Nathan Wade. He felt more than comfortable sharing it. Maybe the two didn't get along. They haven't talked, he said, in a while. And he obviously wanted Ashley Merchant and the defense to know. He wanted them to know that this is the truth. This is before Wade and Willis have taken the stand to deny it under oath. Maybe Terrence Bradley's thinking they'll admit it under oath. He says to her they're going to deny it. One thing to deny it privately to a lawyer or to the press, quite another to do so under oath.
No, he is being unfairly prosecuted, Eric, because first of all, the person that determines whether or not they want to prosecute them based off of unsubstantiated evidence is the DA's office. She was the one that brought this in order to try to disqualify him based off of the fact that she didn't like him. It was all up to her discretion. And they was going to get rich and get paid and all frolic and be able to travel the country and the world on the behalf of the taxpayers while doing so. And it all blew up in their face. Yes, it is all fake. Yes, it is all bad. And it is dirty. She was the one that determined to file these charges in the first place. It's dirty. It does mean that. It's exactly that.
All right, let's keep going. She says, not that you needed protection, but I kept you out of it. Let me know your thoughts. Now, of course, she wants to keep him out of it. I got to have a glass of water. This is a lot. But she can't keep him out of it. Ultimately, she's not going to be able to keep him out of it. Okay. Then he responds, this is about an hour and a half after she texted him the motion. He responds, I really appreciate you keeping me out, but I think you need to add me in. The footnote 15, because I had a contract as well. That way it doesn't seem like I was involved. And here it is.
So everybody was getting paid.
Here it is. This is the prelude to the text we went over. where he said, add me to footnote 15 and how much I made. And she says, I took you out. I can add that back in. Good point. This is the prelude to the text we read you earlier, where he's saying, I appreciate you keeping me out, but you need to add me back into that footnote because I had a contract as well with the DA's office, he means. And that way it doesn't seem like I was involved. You guys all see it. You know what he's doing. He doesn't want it. Of course he doesn't want it out there that he was helping, but he was helping. Okay, keep going here.
Always an op somewhere.
She says, I took you out. I can add it back. Good point. Yes, add it back, he says. She says, anything else? Anything that isn't accurate? He says, looks good. We've been over that. She loved that. Looks good. How do you think they will respond? I'm trying to anticipate. He says, did you look at campaign contributions? I can't remember what we gave her when she was running. She says, good idea. And Sonia.
This dude is helping take his own homie down. And he also got paid inside of the office. Oh, Mr. Brown, don't do it to me, Mr. Brown.
And now, how will they react to this? She reiterates, attack me? Give the stupid no fear or favor speech? He says, no, they will deny it. They won't attack you. They're going to deny it. And she says, if they deny it, they will become public liars. Okay, let's see. I'm just reading here. 1/6/24. This is a lot of back and forth around 1/6/24. I am shocked she paid him so much. How did they think they wouldn't get caught? So careless. This is Ashley Merchant. Why not just not
She's finessing the brakes off of Terrence Bradley. Good. I mean, you could see the way that she framing the questions. I'm shocked with how much they get paid so much. Why did she not think that this was get caught? Come on, lawyer, man. You can't see that she's setting you up? You so blinded?
Hey, Nathan, Lord, Terrence Bradley, arrogance.
Oh, my God.
This is so telling. This is fascinating. I am shocked she paid him so much. How did they think they wouldn't get caught? So careless. Why not just not pay Nathan? Arrogance. Okay, moving on. Okay, she says, I may subpoena the detail. She seems to mean security detail, but wasn't sure if it would help much. Those guys know it all. Here's his response. This is 1/7/24, 12:12 p.m. Yes, but they changed. You need to subpoena their original detail and current detail. You really want the guys when she was initially elected. Now you tell me, audience, was she initially elected prior to hiring Nathan Wade? Yeah, she was. She was elected in 2020. Why would Terrence Bradley be saying you've got to get her original security detail she had back in 2020?
Because the security detail is the ones that can tell you that he was coming in and busting it open. Because they would then have to tell the truth about what was happening, what they were securing. They were securing her secrets in her box. The security detail was the ones that's familiar with the fact that she was busting it open in 2019 and 2020 during the pandemic, 21, 22, 23. Ain't it convenient that they just recently broke up? And then she wanted, dog, they had a whole half of a decade relationship. And then we sitting in 2024 still having this conversation. They finesse the taxpayers. And don't nobody want to hold this wicked woman accountable. They still giving her they just gave her an award at the church, at the bereaving, whatever that church was. Lord, we want you to look over Fannie Willis. We know that no weapon formed against her will prosper. And she up there giving her speech. Now, God didn't say it wasn't going to be a weapon that wasn't going to be formed. It was only going to be no weapons that formed against me that was going to prosper. No, we going to prosper. We going to prosper. Listen, you will not live this down. You will not live this down. This is so evil, ugly, crooked, dirty. And guess what? They can't even blame the white man on this one. Can't even blame the white man. Can't blame the white man on this one. HWYTE.
You really want those guys. Why would he be saying that when she's saying, I've got to get the detail? Those guys know it all. If the affair wasn't going on in 2020 when she was initially elected. It's right here. The judge has this. He knows what we know. Terrence Bradley saw what Robin Yurty saw. This affair was going on for years.
Facts.
Prior to 2022, and these two lied.
Yep.
They took the stand and, in my very well-educated opinion, told lies under oath to this judge, to these lawyers, to
the
Fulton
people.
County, to all of us.
Correct.
To all of us. He's divulging this with zero questioning by Ashley Merchant. She's not prompting him which detail? Tell me when. That's not what's happening here. All right, keeping going. Okay, other than security details, she writes, can you think of anyone else who can confirm their romantic relationship? Obviously,
you don't even
leaving
have to do no hard work. All you got to do is find you a black man that don't like you, that want to snitch on you, that's your frat brother, and he gonna throw you under the bus. You don't even got to do no hard work. They gonna tell you and point you to all of the dirt, the details. Don't you know that the majority of prosecutions come as a result of a snitch? So you benefited in the office. You hung out with him. You got money with him. Y'all was rocking out with each other. Apparently, he took the woman that you wanted. Maybe you wanted to bust down Fawny, but he got to her first. So now you throwing him under the bus. You shouldn't even be talking. Shouldn't even be talking.
you and Chris out of the mix. Maybe her kids, other coworkers? He responds, her kids, yes. Where's the Mr. Maybe I need to pause here and show the audience, where's the SOT Deb where he's like, I only had one conversation about this. Do we have that cut? Only ever had, okay. I just want to play for you. I'm going to interject in the midst of these text messages what he was saying yesterday on the stand, which was literally, I only ever had one conversation with Nathan Wade, privileged or otherwise, only one, about his relationship with Fannie. And now he's like, get the detail back in 2020. They're going to know it all. Discover a holistic wellness solution.
All right, we got enough here. There's enough. This is enough. He's not a snitch. With friends like this, who need enemies?